And speaking of cutting taxes, joining me now, you're welcome to stay on because this is the fun day. Uh, Joining me now, West Virginia Governor, my friend Patrick Morrisey, who is cutting your taxes by the minute. Governor, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much, John. And we're fighting right now. We're hopeful that the House is going to take up what the Senate had provided. The Senate had followed through on our 10% across the board income tax cut. This is actually on the heels of West Virginia putting into place the Trump tax cuts, conforming them to West Virginia. So that's actually a big deal for a lot of small businesses and citizens. But this income tax is the crown jewel. If we can get this cut, that makes a big difference. But we need to make sure that all those across West Virginia are weighing into the legislators and say, let's get an across-the-board income tax done now.
Where is it? I mean, your goal, as I understand it, is to get to no income tax in West Virginia. That's why our company should move there. You want no income tax in West Virginia. This is like your first down payment, this 10% cut.
Well, it is. And John, what I will tell you, it's the first time we've been paying for it because in the past, they were able to begin the income tax cuts because a lot of the federal monies that came in, and we actually had the big lawsuit that allowed that to happen. So we actually helped spearhead this by the lawsuit that we filed a number of years ago. But at the end of the day, you have to make sure that if you're losing close to 40% of your revenue, that you have to address this somehow. So what we've done is we've set up systems so that when these new intelligence centers come to West Virginia and they're generating the kind of massive investment and the value, West Virginia is going to get that money placed into an income tax reduction fund, and that's going to be significant. That's our pathway to zero. It's going to take some time, but it's really good because we're starting to get some huge reaction to all the energy and technology projects we're working on.
So even with this tax cut, obviously you guys got to have a balanced budget, but you're confident you can balance your budget with the tax cut without really reducing any core services for West Virginians.
Listen, yeah, we've been making the challenging decisions, and when I came in, there were a lot of structural challenges and problems. We went to work trying to fix it. We actually made, John, over $110 million of reductions to the baseline from last year to this, and then we went further. So we actually addressed a lot of the issues. We're not done. We have to continue to be fiscally responsible, but we've positioned West Virginia when we know we can afford this 10% across the board income tax cut. Now what's happening today is that the House is taking up the Senate's version of the tax cut, and we're going to see what they do. But I could tell everyone watching, please weigh in and ask your delegate to support the governor's 10% across the board income tax. I think West Virginians deserve a tax cut. We've made the tough decisions. It's also going to allow us to compete more effectively with the other states that we touch.
Well, there's that great sucking sound. Once you pass this, that great sucking sound you hear is going to be businesses coming out of the new tax haven in the country, Virginia, coming to West Virginia. Why anybody would stay in Virginia with the level of taxes and levies they're putting on, and you guys are cutting taxes? I mean, the sucking sound is going to be enormous.
Listen, I think that's the selling point, too, that we have a chance to have a lot of businesses come to our state, and we want good patriots to come move to West Virginia because we know it's a land where freedom reigns, and we're doing some really exciting things bringing business to our state. And that's because we're working on the fundamentals. John, we're cutting red tape. We're actually working on the water, the sewer, the fundamentals on the infrastructure that frequently people leave behind, and we're investing in our people. And that includes both the technical colleges and the higher ed, but it also means putting money back in people's pocket.
I cover so many states. I've got to do a weekly segment outside of 6 to 10 covering West Virginia because you guys have got so many great things going on there because we own 9 radio signals there. But you guys have got so many good things going on. To get your tax cut passed, you have a commanding majority in the House of Representatives. I think there's two Democrats in there or three. It's a commanding
Well,
majority.
it's more split than you think, and so what
Why is
we're
that?
hoping for, yeah, because even though it's a supermajority, there is not just one view in that body, and so that's one thing we've been working with, and we're trying to bring as many people as we can. But sometimes when you go to these supermajorities, you get some people that are not really tethered to the Republican philosophy. So I would just say this: we have a lot of good people. We're trying to work with them, and we're collaborating. But it's not been an easy process. So that's why I'm asking people, weigh in with your House of Delegate member. We could really use your help.
I think they're called, in layman's terms, I think they're called rhinos, right? Republicans in name only. Hate to call them out, but you can't get elected there. We have, I think there's two or three Democrats in the House, one or two in the Senate, and both of those are going. I mean, my goal is there'll be no Democrats in the Senate. We're gonna oust the guy in Fairmont. There's somebody else. He's gone, or she, whoever it is. So we're trying to get you that. But look, when you came in there and took over, I remember the first time I had you on, you said, "Hey, Senator Justice, right, or whatever, I guess former Governor Justice said, we got a surplus, but we came in, no, wasn't a surplus, like exactly opposite of that." So in a very short period of time, you've turned this financial house around. Now where you can get this big tax cut. How did you do that, Governor?
Listen, we roll our sleeves up and we get to work every day. And we went and we tried to cut the fat from the bone, and we went at it very aggressively. But we also asked a basic question: is there a service that could be provided by the private marketplace? That's something the government shouldn't be doing, right? And so we started to go through, and we were able to make some of the right decisions. But as I said, we still have more to do. I know that I'd like to work with the legislature to do additional changes that are going to position the state even better for the future. I'm hopeful that's going to happen in 2027, and there'll be some new people coming in. So I'm optimistic for the future. We've got big economic development projects coming in, John. It's exciting, and I'm going to be going up to Clarksburg today and doing yet another one of these projects. It's outstanding.
Going to the Berg. I love it. Let's talk about one of your biggest issues there, which is the Zoomer drain. We're not keeping our kids in West Virginia. They're leaving the state for other opportunities. They're leaving their families. We need an influx of young people, young families. They need to stay. We've got a beautiful campus at West Virginia University, also in Huntington, Marshall, other colleges. How do we get our kids there to stay in West Virginia?
Yeah, it's a great question, John, and here's what we're working on. First, I am so focused on how we can keep our young people here in West Virginia. And in fact, every year when I go to Boys State and Girls State, I talk about that. And I think first and foremost, you need to convince the youth of our state that there are going to be bright opportunities available in West Virginia. And so we're working on that, because as we're starting to see success, we're on pace, John, to have the best economic development year in anyone's memory in West Virginia. And we're not done yet. We're being so aggressive and successful in bringing this in. That's because we're working on the fundamentals. But we have to explain that to our young people and have them understand, hey, there are going to be really great job opportunities for us. Why? Because we're working on the fundamentals. We're focused on ensuring people have a good education. We're actually doing the right things in terms of our tax code. We're cutting red tape faster than anyone around us. And we're also investing in the right fundamentals with respect to infrastructure to make it desirable to have business locate here. So when you see all that, and you see the kind of vo-tech jobs coming up, the tech jobs coming up, and other types of jobs arising in West Virginia, kids are going to know this is the place to be.
Well, the thing is, you want to be able to build opportunity, because we've had a young people's drain there, and I know the president of Marshall University, that started one of the big tech companies, has a program to get businesses in and people to move in. That's been relatively successful. It's privately funded, but that's going to be the key. I mean, but your plan makes sense. I mean, if you just look at this from the outside. So Governor Morrisey is doing is, look, we're going to lower taxes 10% this year. Then we're going to get to zero income tax. Once we get to zero income tax, we keep lowering income taxes for businesses and people. Then we're going to get more businesses in. More businesses in means more job opportunities. You've also got, you're sitting on the largest energy jackpot gold mine in the world in West Virginia. You've got coal, you've got natural gas, you've got everything going on there. You're bringing in these data centers. There's going to be opportunity for families, and you got a great educational system there. And so you want to provide the opportunities of new companies to come in so that our young people in West Virginia decide to stay there. I mean, it's a simple mathematical.
John, it's about the fundamentals, right?
Right.
And a lot of people try to reinvent the wheel, but if you incentivize people to act rationally, they're going to act rationally. So what does that mean? First of all, get government out of the way and allow innovation to soar. We're doing that. Return more money back to your people because they know how to spend it better than the government does. Have good public school systems, but also we have the private school choice. School choice is important. And when you do all these things, people realize it. And that'll force the net migration. That'll encourage more people to stay here. It's an exciting time, John, and that's why I was happy to come on your show today.
Well, let's talk about our mutual favorite topic, West Virginia University athletics, because we got a lot going on. Let me start here. By the way, the girls team going to the tournament in Kansas City, WV Sports. This segment is brought to you by WV Sports Nation. Go to wvsportsnation.com. You're going to get the best coverage of all West Virginia University sports anywhere in the history of the earth. We're sending our photographer and our beat writer, Trent Connor, to Kansas City for that tournament. Let's start with the girls basketball team. I thought the men's team had a good season. I think Hodges has got something to build on. But this girls team, Governor, this is something special. They can win this whole thing. They can win the tournament, and then they're going to get top seed in the NCAA, and they're going to go to Elite Eight, maybe Final Four. What do you think?
Well, listen, we're rooting for them. They're having a terrific year, and I do think that the girls they've had some big wins this year. I believe when they won against Duke earlier in the year, people were all worried and shocked about it, and I said, no, that's going to be standard fare when they take on these big teams and they win. So we're excited about them. I'll be honest, we're excited about the new coach and the men's basketball program as well. Because can you imagine that you go from one coach to the next, you're still 17-12, you're on the cusp of making the NCAAs, with a couple breaks earlier this year that could be in the tourney. They probably have to go on a little bit of a run in the conference tournament to have any shot of doing it. But, it's fun to be rooting for WVU hoops and West Virginia basketball when you're in March.
I love Coach Kellogg. Obviously, he's done a great job. Men's basketball coach Russ Hodges. I think he's really done a good job, and they got something there to build on. Let me tell you the other thing. West Virginia baseball 2 years ago, they knocked on the door. Last year, they banged on the door. This year, they're going to kick it in. I'm telling you, this is the best team they've had of all three. They're going to Omaha. You and I are going to be there in Omaha, in Nebraska, watching WVU Mountaineers in the College World Series. No doubt about it.
You can book it. And I can tell you, last year, when WVU was facing LSU in the round of 16, I made a bet with the governor of Louisiana. I didn't win that bet, but I'll tell you this. I think last year they did a really good job. And right now, I think I saw a Big 12 poll that came out this week where they're forecast to be one of the top teams in the Big 12. They had a tough loss over the weekend. But I'll tell you what, they've got good coaching. They've got a good group of players this year. So I'm excited to watch them.
So you need to come to the game against Maryland on March 10th. I'm going to actually be doing that game play-by-play. So if you come there, unfortunately, you have to go in the visitor's box because I'm doing the game for Maryland, not for WVU. But it's still fun. And you'll have to come up there. We'll get you a little airtime if you
Yeah.
can make it. I'll send a note to your staff. But a lot of great things happening in West Virginia. Final question. I know you got to go. Other than getting this tax cut passed, what is your top accomplishment, your top priority in this General Assembly in 2026?
Yeah, great question. So first, we want to make sure that we're continuing the course that we laid out last year. We made the difficult decisions with respect to the budget. That's positioning us well for a tax cut. One thing that we're really looking to do is we're going to continue to build on our energy resources. We've got a really big energy bill that's pending where we're very hopeful we can use that to amplify our 50 by 50 energy plan. John, what that means is moving from 15 gigawatts, 15.9 gigawatts now to 50 by 2050. This is the centerpiece of our economic development strategy, part of what you're going to hear about a little bit later today when we're up in Clarksburg, what people are going to be hearing about a lot. When you know that a lot of the technologies and the manufacturers of tomorrow need affordable, reliable energy, well, West Virginia is in that business, and anything we could do to amplify that is going to make a big difference. We're going to grow based upon our strengths, and I think so that's very important, and getting our rural health transformation fund authorized so we can start to move the needle, improve people's health. Those are two big things.
Governor Patrick Morrisey, Governor of West Virginia, I want to thank you for your time. And that 50-50, that's what you outlined when you made that big address last year at the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce in
Yep.
the Greenbrier, I think, right?
We
Same
started talking about then and then built it out in September, yeah. And it's been a great run ever since. People know that energy is the lifeblood of West Virginia.
Governor, thank you for being with us. People want to follow you. What's your website?
So a couple things. Anyone following me personally can look at Morrisey WV. If they're looking for Twitter online, they can type in Patrick Morrisey and look for the official site as well, and that would be beneficial. So just go online, type it in. It'll pull up our official one. It'll pull up the personal one, and you could follow on Twitter. You can follow on Facebook, and there's a lot going on. So we urge you to do that and get out and see what we're doing on social media.
I know you got to go, but one more thing. What's your direct message to Virginians and Virginia companies on why they should get out of there and come to West Virginia, God's country?
As Virginia continues to move in the wrong direction, lifting taxes up, micromanaging businesses, making regulations more burdensome than they've ever seen, and lurching way to the left, individuals and businesses can come to a place that respects freedom, that's lowering taxes, that treats businesses like family, and has more energy resources than we know what to do with. And so therefore you can provide for affordable opportunities for manufacturing, for technology, and for many other spaces. West Virginia is going to have a very aggressive competitive advantage over Virginia because of our good work on fundamentals and because we're moving in the right direction, and we treat companies and citizens like family because that's what they are when they move to West Virginia.
Governor, thank you. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right. Governor Patrick Morrisey, cutting taxes, blasting Spanberger, life couldn't be better. Just if you're in Virginia, just go. I live in Washington, D.C. I cover the White House, but if not, I'd be there. The hell would I be in Virginia for? Plus, some counties could secede. Oh, my goodness, too much. All right, quick word from our sponsors. Sheriff David Clark coming up next. Keep it right here.